Verses 15 and 19. So lucky, I'm gonna start at 17. A man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able.
Right?
For because of their pride, the city shall be troubled, the houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid.
Right, because you know what pride does? Pride makes you not be able to capture certain things and look at things for what they are. Again, if you had a humble city, what happened to Nineveh the first time when Jonah was sent out there? They repented, which is humility. And what happened? The destruction passed when they repented. But a proud city is going to be like, man, we don't need to deny more baggage, more dikes, more trannies. That's what that's what these cities have decided to do. Which is all part of the plot of America being what? Totally destroyed, man. What?
Verse 18. Verse 19. A man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with the sword and spoil their goods because of the lack of bread and for great tribulation.
That's right. The spoil their goods because of the lack of bread and great tribulation. And that ultimately what's coming is the lack of bread. And we know that it's the lack of bread, physical bread, that's really going to like bring about these wastefuls, man. Okay? Meaning when the economy collapses, that's that bread that's going to be taken up. When you go to the food market and you look at you go to the food market and you see that the loaf of bread, you see the price going up, and then you see the man at the counter with all those price tags, right? And he on the phone or whatever checking all the prices, and then he hears that hey, a certain cargo couldn't make it to the shores, so the bread is going to be short. So he puts a little tag right there, $10, and then 2 hours later he hears the news there's going to be even more shortages, and the price of bread is just skyrocketing. He going to grab that price tag, take that shit down, go and grab the $35, price tag, put on the bread. So you see a loaf of bread costs $10 in the morning. By the time the night is over, it's $20. People gonna bug out, man. That's what we're talking about. We've been prophesying this through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shemashah for years, right? Beginning with our apostles. Go.
Oh, this one? This chapter? Second Ezra 15?
Oh no, that's it on there. Yeah, Jeremiah 4:19.
Jeremiah 4 and 19.
Right.
My bowels, I am painted at my very heart. Oh,
Pain.
lucky. Yeah, I am pained at my very heart.
Right.
My heart maketh a noise in me. I cannot hold my peace, because thou hast heard, O my soul, the sound of the trumpet, the alarm of war.
That's right. So we, the soul, we've heard the sound of the trumpet and the alarm of war. We know war's coming, right? So if you're a watcher and a watchman, and you know war's coming, what do? You got to go to the top of the watchtower. You watch it, and then you blow the trumpet. You blow the trumpet to who? To your people. Tell them that the enemy is coming. Oh, Job 19:12. You tell them that the enemy is coming. We've been surrounded, right? And get your weapons. Just like in the ancient times, man. In the ancient times, when you saw that army right there, you kissed your wife, right? You kissed your wife as a second Ezra 14.
Another thing is, even while after the war breaks out, you still keep watchmen on the wall, like you see in these ancient movies. The watchman will let you know how the battle's doing. If the battle's not going so well, the watchman has to turn around and let everybody know on the inside, but look, we need more people. And that's what we do. We say the same thing. Look, there's still a battle going on. We need more people out here in the infantry fighting this thing, But you have some men, they claim they're watchmen, that they're looking out for the battle and they're not saying nothing. They're not warning, they're not telling you what the enemy's doing, what his moves, what his tactics are. They're using the same tactics as the enemy, man. Being mischievous, deceiving our people, not trying to reach a solution, not trying to win the battle, And this man is gunning for us, man. This man is gunning for us. You got these Israelites, instead of watching and warning the people, they'd rather have 3-hour live shows talking to each other about 5G, not edifying nobody.
Yeah, man. I mean, again, talking about I mean, which again, it's not that it's of course it's good to let our people know about the 5G thing. But
3 hours.
Yeah, but the reason why I said I put a but on it is because yes, you let the people know, but even if you break it down to the smallest, the reality of the matter is the order has been to stay at home so you can be radiated. I mean, you know about it. We're not when I speak about the 5G and whatnot, it's not telling you, hey man, you're gonna escape. No, you're gonna be at home because it's a stay home order, and know that this is what they're doing, and it's part of what the process. But you're not gonna talk about it for 3 hours, because either way you home being fried by the same 5G that you're talking about for 3 hours. Talk about it, everybody know about it, and we continue to go into our faith that the shield, which is Yahweh Shai, is going to help us what? Fight that darkness. Go into the scriptures. All right?
Job 9 and 14?
No, I thought it was 19 and 12.
Oh, yeah. Job chapter 19, verse 12.
Right.
His troops come together.
His troops come together, go ahead.
And raise up their way against me.
Right?
And encamp round about my tabernacle.
There you go. So Esau's troops are what? They're coming together and they wage against this, the nation of Israel, and what? They encamp around what? The people of the Lord, man. That's what you see what? Oh, those peacemakers, they've been here for a minute. NATO forces, blue hats, as they call. They've been here for a minute. You have the National Guard. They're moving in even more. The police department, they're being militarized. What is Esau getting his troops ready? What? To pounce on the woman, man. And the woman being Israel. Okay? And we're coming closer and closer to that time, man. But if you look around and you're like, okay, where is the desperation? See, Jake is still playing games. Jake is still hoping against the downfall of America. That's why you don't see the desperation, man. But the Lord is going to show you that this time shall not pass. Because you got, I was watching, as a matter of fact, let me get that on Luke 24 toward the end, 24, 30, 32. When, no, not 24, 21 and 32. Because I was watching on Apostle Gabar's video, and about, you know how they're closing, they're boarding up, stores are being boarded up, and then on the plywood, right, they wrote, this also shall pass. Which, you know, that's a term that you say to yourself if you're going through some shit, right? This also shall pass. So they like, you know, we boarding things up, but pay, this also shall pass. Well, let's find out about that. We get Luke 21.
Yeah, start at 30 or?
So it says this shall not pass.
Yeah, that's 32.
Yeah, we started 30.
Yeah. Luke 21 and 30.
Right?
When they now shoot forth, ye see and know of yourself, your own selves, Salakia, that summer is now nigh at hand.
Read that again,
Khan. Luke 21 verse 30. When they now shoot forth, ye see and know.
Start above, because it's going into a little bit of a parable, right?
Oh yeah, the parable of the fig tree.
Yeah.
Yeah, verse Luke 21 and 29. And he spake to them a parable. Behold, the fig tree and all the trees.
Right.
When they now shoot forth, ye see and know of your own selves.
Right. So when you look at the trees and how they shoot forth, you see that, hold up, something. It's a season, right? It's a certain season. And remember, aren't we all trees? If you think about it, the scripture speaks about the trees in the garden. So, and the trees goes back to family trees, right? So we ain't really looking at actual trees and say, well, you know, when that tree, when the leaves starts to sprout, we know it's spring. That's easy. No, we're looking at a certain family, right? A certain family tree that's moving funny. Who is that? Esau.
Yep.
Esau, Edom is a tree. He's a family tree. If he's moving, if this tree is bringing in army, you know, Humvees in the city, you're thinking, okay, there's something's going on. But we go into the scripture. The scripture tells you what Edom, Esau was going to do.
Yep.
So now we know the times that we living in. Because we've been watching, man, and we stay watching. All right? We know the season that we in because we watching the right tree, and we see what that tree is doing, man. All right? Good.
Tom. Continuing on in verse 30.
Right?
That summer is now nigh at hand.
Right. Summer is usually what? Hot. Summer's hot, man. And that's why I believe through the spirit that these fires if they're going to kick in, it's going to have to be in the summertime. Because that's when you really, the spirit are heated. Think about it. Even us being out here in the highway, we always prepare for the summertime.
Oh, yeah.
When we come out all these years, we come out on the highways and the edges, whether it's snow, you know, a lot of times it's hot. You ain't got nothing, a tank top on, you know, a white beat on, and your garment, you know, it's heat, sweating, and you know it's going to be a multitude of spirits. And you better be on your quote-unquote A game because questions going to be coming from you know, dudes gonna want to scrap all kinds of craziness. How much more now when there's true desperation in these summers that are coming, man?
Yeah.
Right?
John, verse 31, Luke 21 and 31.
Right?
So likewise ye, when ye see these things come to pass, know ye that the kingdom of the Most High is nigh at hand.
That's right, man. The kingdom of Yahweh Bashim Shah, our government being established, the kingdom of Yahweh Shah being established on this earth is near when we see these things, man. And this is just the beginning of sorrows, phase 1. And these people are already bowed out. They're listening to the government, staying home and social distancing, right? Everybody's running away, being afraid of a virus that they have no idea about. But why? They believe in their government. So you believe in that government, we gonna believe in our government, we gonna believe in our power, which is Yahweh Bashim Shah. And Yahweh Bashim Shah said we gonna eat. He said ain't no virus gonna be out here killing us. He said we gonna be good as long as we keep the faith and keep pushing this word.
Yeah, say you shall not be afraid of the pestilence.
That work by darkness.
In darkness, yeah.
Yeah, we should not, and we're not afraid of that.
Yeah.
That's why I call it the phantom menace.
Psalm 121.
You know, it's a phantom. Like, where the fuck is it? Where is it? Where's the cobra?
Is in there?
Now it's there, but you
that's
can't
one.
see it. It's just a microorganism. You know what I'm saying? But it's like, hey man,
You got it, bro?
I started 5.
Come on.
This is Psalms 91 and 5. It says, Thou shalt not be afraid for the terror by night, nor for the arrow that flieth by day.
What's the terror by night? That's the troops at 2:30 in the morning.
yeah, man.
You know, you hear Humvees rolling down your strip at 3:30. You're like, what is that vibration?
Yeah, you hear all you hear is you hear boots. Yeah, that's you start hearing those boot steps, you're like, oh shit.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? It's going down, man.
That's the spirit, man. As his brother saying, it's going down. A freaking honeybee
Yeah.
just fell out of nowhere. You know, now it's right there on the ground, man.
You know, last week we went
That's
over
the end
honey.
of America, man. When you see the bees, that's a sign. Once you see the bees go, everything, the rest of humanity is through. You know.
And also on the flip side too, brother. Remember last week we were speaking about honey and milk. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So it's all spiritual. Honey just came because we got the real honey. Man. That's right. That's right. That's right. Somebody, you know, Scoff would be like, man, look at these guys. Honey fell all out. But see, that's because you're not spiritual.
Yeah, you're not spiritual, man. We connected.
Not only are you not spiritual,
We well connected.
you also not desperate. You know what I'm saying?
Right,
We
you're
are
not
spiritual
desperate, yeah.
and we're desperate.
Yeah.
We're desperate to get out of here.
Yeah.
Okay? So any signs, according to the scriptures that show that we getting out of here, we jumping on them.
Right.
All right? If you got a problem with it, that's your goddamn problem. All right?
Right.
Keep going.
This is Psalms chapter 91, verse 6. Nor for the pestilence that walketh in darkness, nor for the destruction that wasteth at noonday.
That's right. So, you know, the scripture tells you that these are certain things that's coming, but we're not going to be afraid. Why? Because the first thing about beating, well, let's get fit. So I Wisdom of Solomon 17. What's that, 17?
14. 17 to 14.
Let's get that. Let's get fear, because that's how they
12
moving and
maybe.
stuff right now, right? How they get these people to stay home? Fear. Fear, man, to the point where dudes trying to get their contract signed in the NFL, they can't get no contract because the doctors can't examine them and do, you know, it's like you just got a social, you take a picture with somebody and they're like, man, look at that motherfucker, he ain't social distancing, like, what's wrong with him? And they're all programmed to push this bullshit.
Yeah.
Not understanding that the more distance you have, the more, guess what, hostility is going to come forth, man.
Right.
All this social distancing is going to bring what? It's anti-social. It's going to be what? Hostile. When you go out there, you're going to see that last loaf of bread, you're going to be willing to kill that motherfucker, you know, to grab it. And then once you look at who you killed, it's your next door neighbor. That's the type of stuff that's going to happen, man.
Wisdom of Solomon 17, I'm going to start 11. For wickedness condemned by her own witness is very timorous, and being pressed with conscience always forecasteth grievous things. For fear is nothing else but a betraying of the succors which reason
If I
offers.
could say something, the verse before it explains why it's saying about the fear, because your mind is pressed. You know, your mind is racing. You don't know what to think. You don't have no spiritual guidance. So now, the enemy, the wicked one, the demon pops in your mind, and now it's bringing about all these worst case scenarios. Thinking about the things that you're most scared of, you know? But what if the Most High doesn't do this for me? Really, that's what it's a lack of faith. That's what a good amount of fear is a lack of faith. You know, not knowing, not believing that the Lord is going to protect you in a certain scenario or situation. All right, and we are coming to in a time. If you can read the verse above before fear one more time.
Yeah, that's why. Bible said, can we go a little bit above that?
Yeah.
Because it gives you details, just like the Quran said, about what leads to you buying into the fear.
Yeah.
You know, because we know what fear does. It tells you is to be trained up to succors or to safety. Another word for succors is safety. Is be trained to safety that reason offers. The reason of what? It's the reasoning of the scriptures. The Lord told you was going to be all right, and all of a sudden you start seeing shit go left, and all of a sudden you say, I'm not sure if I'm going to be all right like the Lord said I was going to be all right. And that's where fear creeps in. But what makes you buy into that in the first place? And that's where you read the scriptures above. Go ahead, brother.
Khan, I think I'll start at 4.
Go ahead.
Wisdom of Solomon 17:4.
Go ahead.
For neither might the corner that held them keep them from fear, but noises as of waters falling down sounded about them.
But so you can see, they hear drops of water. Remember, this is what's going on, what was going on in Egypt. Right before we got out, it was some wild shit going on in Egypt. Crazy apparitions, you know, that was going on in Egypt, right?
Khan, continuing on, but noises as of waters falling down sounded about them, and sad visions appeared unto them with heavy countenances.
There you go. Sad visions with heavy countenances. Demons, man.
You ever see somebody wake in a movie? You wake up out of a scary dream, they breathing, sweating, you know, bed's all wet. That's how a lot of you people are gonna be, man. Waking up in the middle of the night, terrified at sounds, you know, because you watching the news. A lot of people, they fill their minds up with this mainstream media and this news, and it's all doom and gloom. So when they go to sleep, they translate into their dreams.
The brain is something else, brother. And what the Quran said is so true, because that's what the mind does sometimes. That's why we've been accustomed to not follow every dream. You know, because certain things are just the good old your mind playing tricks on you. And you like the last 5 things you talked about, you were really engaged in the night before, and all of a sudden you get this dream where the mind put all these things together, and it just creates this movie, and you're like, hold up, bro. I don't know about that. You know what I'm saying? Right?
Khan. Verse 5. No power of the fire might give them light, neither could the bright flames of the stars endure to lighten the horrible night.
Right,
that horrible night.
That's right, because it was a darkness that enveloped all Egypt. Oh, it was dark, it was black.
Pitch black, country black.
That's right.
Talking about country black. His brothers know about country black. That's why ain't no lights out there, bro. It's dark. The only light is the stars.
That's right. And it says even the stars couldn't light up Egypt at the time. So the Most High put that pitch darkness in Egypt, right?
Yeah.
Real quick, if I could say, for the 17th chapter, Wisdom of Solomon, the 16:11, it tells you, the header says, why the Egyptians were punished with darkness.
There you go.
The terrors of that darkness and the terrors of an ill conscience.
And an ill conscience. Ill means sick. That's when your mind, again, when your mind is playing tricks on you, man. And not only that, your mind is condemning you. Because a lot of these people know that their deeds are wicked. That's why the scripture says, and what? Let me get that John. Let me get that what's that? John 3:17. They ran away from the light because they beat the evil. I think it's John 3.
So there's also one in John 1. In the world,
the light is coming.
Oh, it's 19.
Okay, go ahead.
This is St. John chapter 3, verse 19.
Right.
And this is the condemnation, that light is coming to the world.
Right, the light is coming to the world, which is the truth, which is Yahweh Shah is coming to the world, and particularly the world of Israel. Go ahead.
And men love darkness rather than light.
But men love darkness rather than light, which is, that's why, listen, you got all of this darkness, and the majority of our people uplifting the ones in the nation that are all about darkness, right? The niggerism and all that bullshit. When the Most High releases true darkness, They ain't gonna want none of that. They're gonna be scared.
Right.
They're gonna be crying and wailing.
I need a nightlight.
Yeah. You know, you got Jakes out here talking about his gang life. And then when the real Mad Max, cannibalistic gang life comes around, like the Zaquan made a video about, when the real Mad Max, cannibalistic gang life comes about, they gonna shit in their pants.
Bring the real smoke.
Yeah. When people put, I always, you know, when they put shoulder pads on with spikes,
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Get on bikes, motorbikes, and then, you know, what? Hey, man, that's when you really gonna see, like, okay, you wanted all that darkness, now the Lord is giving it to you.
Yeah.
Walk. They're gonna want to be high, and they're going, oh, Jesus, God, please help me. Right, man.
We giving you the forecast. You know, we warning you, man.
Back in wisdom? Yeah.
Wisdom of Solomon 17:6. Only there appeared unto them a fire kindled of itself, very dreadful, for being much terrified. They thought that the things which they saw to be worse than the sight they saw not. As for the illusions,
So that means when you close your eyes, it was better than when you open, because the things that you saw were so bad. The things that you saw were so bad that you was like, the things that you saw was so bad that you was like, nah, man, I better just close my eyes, because this is terrible.
sleep all day.
Right. The water.
Wisdom of Solomon 17:7. As for the illusions of art magic, they were put down.
Hey, the brother just said that when they hear noise that scared them and stuff, you got Edomites giving accounts in multiple YouTube videos over the past like 2-3 years, when they hear creatures in the woods that they've never heard before crying out. And when you hear these, when you go actually go look at them and hear them, these don't sound like any other creature that Moses ever seen or been at or heard before. Like unknown, new created creatures, like movie type stuff. Man.
Hey man, those type of stuff is gonna be, you know, hey, you said it was spiritual Egypt. So a lot of those things that happen in ancient Egypt are gonna transfer, and they're gonna happen while you're here in spiritual Egypt, man.
They're probably creeping out of the mountains or something.
Right, they're creeping out of the mountains because they've been out here and hiding. And the Lord, you know, they be hiding in certain caves. Now they're coming out. A lot of people get spooked, man.
Yeah, I was looking at this article. It was a family. They saw once all this coronavirus and stuff going out, they got bread. So they said, all right, we're gonna go down to the resort in Aruba, because Aruba don't have no cases. By the time they got to Aruba, it was already 2 cases.
The Indians over there whooping grown men.
Coming out the mosque, you seen that?
Bike, you whipping a grown man. Like, yo, grown. Like, that's crazy.
Yeah.
That's the third world nation they don't play, man. The grown man, he whipping like that.
That's an ancient tactic.
Yeah, man. And they also got him doing squats.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I've seen that.
Got him doing squats.
Yeah.
That dude,
Yo, if you overweight in some of these countries, the brothers sent it from the police are riding around with the M16 out the window, 15 push-ups, nigga. All right, run this quarter mile. We're gonna meet you up there, and you're gonna do push-ups on the.
He said he do 40 squats. He's like with a mask in his face. Yo, man, this is crazy.
It's rough, man.
This is crazy. Hey, man, but the Lord said that we shall laugh in the calamity, man.
Sure.
That's what we're doing. We're laughing at this thing. This is funny.
Yeah.
It is going to be real ugly, but it's funny to us, man. Go ahead, bro.
Con, Wisdom of Solomon 17:7. As for the illusions of art magic, they were put down.
Right, and that's what when you go to Isaiah the 47th chapter, Isaiah speaks about the witchcraft.
Yeah.
He speaks about the witchcraft in America just being cast down. You know, right now, you don't see a lot of these women. You know, these women love fortune teller. Yeah. But the fortune teller, you can't even go and see the fortune teller. The psychic, you know, you can't even go and see the psychic because you don't see the signs open because he is told the whole business. And why? The government decided that the psychic is not essential. Because remember, only the essentials are open. So you don't ride around, you don't see psychics, you know, and with the sign open because it's not considered an essential.
No, it's not.
So you can't even go to the psychic, the fortune teller, your own particular stargazer. They can't tell you nothing. Because you afraid you might go out there and find out she got the COVID, man. And that's the shit. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So this is the type of fear that's going on, man.
Did you want the one in Isaiah 47 where it says, "Stand now with thine enchantment"?
Nah, that's it, man.
Okay.
I quoted it.
Wisdom of Solomon 17:7.
What?
As for the illusions of art, magic, they were put down, and their vaunting in wisdom was reproved with disgrace.
Right, and it's being reproved now because, and you see, there's no answers going on, man.
None.
No answers. That's why now you see brothers' views, like you see the views are going up and up, and you're like, oh wow, see, you see Jake the whole time was okay, because you know you got a lot of Jakes they're still on the fence. But some of the elect, not the 144,000, some of the remaining of the elect is still on the fence. Why? Because they still got materialistic things, right? That they are accustomed to have, and in the back of their mind they're like, well, if this thing could go back for another year, you know, because I got this little business I'm trying to do. You know, right, you know, I'm at the brink, man, this goddamn coronavirus.
Yeah.
Like,
Let me
you
get
know,
something too. I
yeah,
can come
yeah,
and preach
yeah,
second
yeah,
Maccabees
yeah.
6 and 13. Yeah, read that.
I got it.
Bread and butter. Sop this up.
Ecclesiastes 8 and 11. Because sentence against an evil work is not executed speedily.
We good. That's what people think. We good. The Lord ain't gonna destroy this. He been letting me do this for all this time. He's gonna let me keep this lifestyle. He's gonna let me keep this. America's gonna bounce back. My prayers to the Lord are working. I'm gonna be able to go back and meet with my church family members again. You know, I'm gonna be able to go back and slide down the pole again for these niggas.
Yep.
You know.
Yep.
You know, I'm gonna go back and be able to look in my crystal ball, be wicked. I can go back in the studio and make music.
That's right.
You know.
That's right.
That's what it is.
And that's and that's what's upsetting to the Lord, is that in times like this, when the Lord is sending out warnings to the nation of Israel, that this is a warning of what we're going into, and the Lord is sitting back and reading the minds of Jake, and instead of them saying, yo, maybe it's time to, they're like, nah, I can't wait for this shit to go back so we can get back to being, you know.
Yeah.
It was like, I'm warning you, and your mind is still, you still want to be here.
Yeah.
You want this thing to pass so you can continue into your wickedness.
Right. Bring it out, Alex.
This is 2nd Ezra chapter 16, verse. It says verse 20. Right? I'm starting verse 19. It says, "Behold, famine and plague, tribulation and anguish are sent as scourges for a mimic." Right. Verse 20. "But for all these things, they shall not turn from their wickedness."
When the proof of that is them niggas in Miami. You got DJs putting their equipment on the balconies, and everybody out there is dancing on the balconies, still trying to party, still trying to live it up in Rome.
No, for Jake, there's no turning back. You know, the scripture says that what? They are revolted and they're gone.
Yeah, they gone. They degenerates.
No turning back, man.
The Lord said He planted a noble vine, but how art thou turned into a degenerate, man?
Oh, brother. If you brothers remember, the last purge that we seen, right? How did it really kick off? Remember?
Oh,
no, the first purge, which was the last one that came out.
It was partying first.
Right. Who was partying? Niggas. It was niggas.
Yeah.
In the streets. And remember what was happening? It was a curfew because it was the purge. Yep. But niggas was like, fuck that. They went out in the streets.
Yeah.
Right, remember?
Yeah,
and then that crazy ass nigga came out with the knife and started Skeletor started sticking them. You stick and move. You know what I'm saying? And so it's the same mentality where the most I shutting this thing down, but Jake is like, nah, we gonna keep this shit going, man.
Yeah. Go ahead, read this one.
Yeah, Ecclesiastes 8 and 11. Because sentence against an evil work is not executed speedily, therefore the heart of the sons of men is fully set in them to do evil.
And that's okay. Get 2nd Maccabees 6 and 13. That's okay. Your heart, we want your heart to be fully set to do evil, because you don't deserve to wake up. A lot of you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, you wicked as hell. You deserve to die in your sleep, basically.
That's right.
Go ahead.
This is 2nd Maccabees chapter 6, verse 13. For it is a token of His great goodness.
You know what? Where's the, yeah, start at 12.
This is 2nd Maccabees chapter 6, verse 12. Now I beseech those that read this book that they be not discouraged for these calamities.
Right, the calamities, he just read it in 2nd Ezra. The doors being shut in the streets, men's powers being in their hand, famine, death, destruction, scourges, the teeth of wild beasts to tear, spirits created for vengeance. These are calamities that the Lord is bringing to the United States and across the whole earth by hand of the so-called white man Esau Edom in the Bible. Go ahead, read it from the top again.
This is 2nd Maccabees chapter 6, verse 12. Now I beseech those that read this book that they be not discouraged for these calamities, but that they judge those punishments not to be for destruction, but for a chastening of our nation.
Keep going.
For it is a token of his great goodness when wicked doers are not suffered any long time.
So that's the Lord being good. That's a token means a sign. When people are getting jacked up and these bad things are happening, that's the Lord sending scourges and amendments. He's appeasing himself. He's warning our people. He's waving the orange sign. You know, you drive the flagger for us. He's waving the sign. Our people are blowing through it. Our people are blowing through the signs, hitting all types of potholes and dead ends, riding on flat tires. You're on the rim at this point, and the Lord's got all these signs saying, hey, hold on. You know, you're getting jacked up. You keep going.
2nd Maccabees chapter 6, verse 13. For it is a token of his great goodness when wicked doers are not suffered any long time, but forthwith punished.
Right.
For not as with other nations whom the Most High patiently forbeareth to punish, till they be come to the fullness of their sins, so dealeth he with us.
Right, that's what's going on. Jake, our people are set upon their leaves. He's allowing all this stuff because he wants to build up. The Lord likes to build up.
Fullness, that's a powerful, the fullness of their sin. That's why, and that's the reason why it's been miserable. The scripture says in Ecclesiastes 86 that because of the purpose set in time. Can you get that right quick, brother? Ecclesiastes 86, just to add. Because that scripture, the fullness, the Lord said he's not moving until they reach the fullness of their evil, of their iniquities. So that means until they get to the point where the water just risen to the point where it's overwhelming, the mountain is full, the cup is full. Until it gets there, the Lord ain't gonna move on it.
Yeah, and the prophecy in Ezra just said that he's doing all these things, but for all this, they're still not turning back and repenting. So that means that it's not full yet.
That's right. That's right.
Ecclesiastes 8 and 6, because to every purpose there is time and judgment.
Right.
Therefore the misery of man is great upon him.
There you go. So the misery is miserable, being in America, being in Babylon. But we've known that until Babylon reaches the fullness of his wickedness,
Got maxed out.
we can't do nothing.
Yeah.
But wait. That's what the Lord said. Wait to have great, to pray for patience.
Yeah.
That's why I remember I started making those statements. Hey man, all you faggots, just come on, bro.
Right.
Do all of that.
Right.
I don't want to pray for dudes that's faggots, that's supposed to be faggots that take a long time. No, man. Like if that is your transgender, hey man, fulfill the fullness of your wickedness, so that you could be destroyed and we could be,
It's gonna speed things up. And all of them spirits, it's all gonna come to the surface, man. All these wicked people. The scriptures talk about how the love of many shall wax cold. Yeah, that's gonna translate into a lot of wicked spirits rousing up and leaping off of people, man.
That's right.
You finish that, Maccabees?
No, I got 2 more verses.
Okay.
This is 2nd Maccabees chapter 6, verse 15. Lest that being come to the height of sin, afterwards he should take vengeance of us. And therefore he never
That's what we're waiting on. We want the height of sin to come to get high, keep skyrocketing, because that's when the Lord's going to take vengeance for us.
Right. That's right.
The reason why the world is at the state that it's in is because of us, really.
That's right.
We were supposed to control this thing.
Right.
So the Lord gave it to the twin brother instead. Go ahead.
Verse 16. And therefore he never withdraweth his mercy from us.
Right, that's why we out here to speak these words. The water Yahweh Shemiah Shah, he woke us up and we're able to push this truth at the level that we do.
That's right.
Go ahead.
And though he punished with adversity, yet doeth he never forsake his people.
All right, he punished us with adversity, but he never forsaketh his people. You know, how do we know? I know I'm a Benjaminite. This brother knows he's from the tribe of Judah, from Yahweh. These brothers know what tribes they from. That's mercy, man. That's the Lord allowing us to understand who we are and to break it down to our fellow countrymen.
That's right.
You know?
just to add on to what the Zaquan said, it says in 2nd Ezra 9, can you get that real quick? The reason why it's so in mercy is because it's through knowledge. You know, 2nd Ezra 9 and 18, man. That's why it's very important for us. It's very important for us to have the knowledge. Without the knowledge, brother, man, without the knowledge, you don't have a chance. I mean, now you got certain brothers that will, you know, wake up at the 11th hour and whatnot. But man, I mean, listen, when you wake up at the 11th hour, that means that, because you know you got the old saying, you don't know what you don't know. Right? You don't even know that there's mercy if you're not even told about this gospel. So if you have to wake up at the 11th hour, that means the whole time you wasn't in the mindset of a man who knew. You didn't even know you was going to receive mercy. If you got it the last minute, great. But if you got this at this point in time, and then you're not in the works and all that, when you know, hey, you're going to be destroyed, you don't want that. You're going to fight to have a chance, man. How do you get a chance? Wisdom of Solomon 9 and 18.
Start wrapping up.
Yeah, Wisdom of Solomon 9 and 18. What did I say?
Second.
I already got Wisdom.
Oh, okay.
Wisdom of Solomon 9 and 18.
Yeah. Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 9, verse 18. Salakia. Oh, Salakia. Next page. Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 9, verse 18.
Right.
For so the ways of them which lived on earth were reformed,
Right.
and men were taught the things that are pleasing unto thee,
There you go. Men are taught the things that are pleasing unto the Most High. Go ahead.
and were saved through wisdom.
There you go. They were saved through wisdom. It's through that knowledge, that wisdom, that understanding that you get that salvation, man. You get a chance of being saved. So if you don't know, then you're in trouble. So when the Lord gave us the knowledge, it's why? It's because He gave us mercy. Philippians 4:7. Because mercy comes what? Mercy comes when a man is at peace. Because you can't put mercy out there if there's no peace. Okay? You gotta be at peace. If the person has the person has done something unto you, right? You will have to what? Have peace and forgive, and then that will be shown into as mercy. We broke the law, statutes, commandments of the Lord, right? So instead of the Lord destroying His Torah, He gave what? He gave His Son up, which is mercy, right? So that His blood could be sprinkled upon what? The men, women, and children that's part of the elect. That is mercy, right? But it comes with peace. Right?
Yeah. This is Philippians chapter 4, verse 7.
Right?
And the peace of Yahweh B'Hashem Yahushua,
And the peace of, right there, Yahweh, and the peace of Yahweh, go ahead,
which passeth all understanding,
which passeth all understanding, knowledge, right?
shall keep your hearts and minds through Hamashiach Yahushua.
There you go. So the reason why we are at peace with the Heavenly Father Yahweh is because of Yahweh Shah. And because of that peace, we get the wisdom, knowledge, and understanding that's going to keep us stable in these days. All right?
Yeah, that was it. Yeah, that was a
Right.
power point right there. I got to close it on. It's Psalm 57 and 1. Favorite precept. Because we in these times, man,
Yeah, man.
calamities, all hell is breaking loose. All we got is each other and Yahweh B'Hashem Yahushua. You know? Psalm 57 and 1, whoever
This
got
is
it.
Psalms chapter 57, verse 1. Be merciful unto me, O Most High Yahweh. Be merciful unto me, for my soul trusteth in thee. Yea, in the shadow of thy wings will I make my refuge, until these calamities be overpassed.
And that's what we bank on, man. We bank on the Yahweh B'Hashem Yahushua protecting us, because we're going to stay up under the shadow of His wings, which are these scriptures, man, straight up and down. All right, so with that, give all praise to our power. Yahweh B'Hashem Yahushua B'Hashem HaKakodash. Yahweh is the Heavenly Father's name. Yahweh Shah is the Savior's name, all right? He's going to get us out of this predicament that we're in. Say shalom to the elect and double honors to our elders and apostles who taught us the truth. They know as a great millstone in these times, all right? In the Hebrew, that would be Gawala Wakub, all right? So Shani Kabbalah come. Shalom.
Shalom.